Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of Underground Video Networks.
Behind the Counter.
In this episode, we're going to be talking about a very special occasion, the anniversary of Superman the movie. Hey, welcome back everybody, and welcome to this episode. I'm Michael Boroff.
I'm Richard Catterton.
Oh man, I've been waiting a long time for this episode. It took us long enough to get here. If you're back there watching, first of all, we would like to thank Alter Ego Comic Books in Lima, Ohio, for letting us shoot here.
Yeah, we're back in the warehouse today.
Yeah, we're literally we put the Underground back in the Underground Video Network. But yeah, we're here to talk about the anniversary of the 40th anniversary of Superman the movie.
Yeah, December the 15th, 1978.
Now, Rich, I'm an old man, but I can pull this card because you actually got to see this at the theater.
Yeah, I actually, on Christmas Eve, I literally went and saw it for the second time, and I was almost late for Christmas that year.
See, we're going to try to keep this short because I could go an hour long about this. One of the things I love the most about Superman the movie is, aside from a little fashion, aside from there being no cell phones, the movie still holds up. Even in the special effects department.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part. The tagline for the movie was, "It will make you believe a man can fly." It really did. Yeah. If you go back now, even, with the Blu-ray and the high def, all those.
I watched it on the DC Universe.
Yeah. It still holds up. The special effects still hold up. When the helicopter falls and he grabs it, that's no CGI. You know what I mean? That was all real.
Yeah, because he almost dropped her, didn't he?
Yes, they did. But for me, it was a very important movie because it was truly, really, especially for the time, one of the only superhero movies.
Yeah, Spider-Man was on TV, but that was very cheesy and unrealistic.
Yeah. And I think it really set the standard for when people. One of the arguments everybody who's a Superman fan hears was, "How could nobody believe that Clark Kent is Superman and nobody saw that?" So, you believe. Christopher Reeves did such an amazing job that you could really put him in the Superman costume and him dressed as Clark Kent, and you could truly believe that those were two separate people. He sets the gold standard.
Yeah, it really worked. He had his blue suit, the glasses, and the hat. And I always loved the little touch when he was going to change the one time, and it wasn't a phone booth. It was,
And after he changes, one of the best lines in cinematic history, "Whoa, bro, that is a bad outfit." I love that. And then that's another thing too, that was all him. This wasn't a polyurethane, or it wasn't like some foam fitting suit, that was shaded.
That comes later in the 90s.
That comes later in but that was him, and it showed. I think that one of the things I love most about his performances is there's different takes of Superman throughout the years in comic books and cartoons, and they usually they like to draw him like super ripped and jacked. Well,
okay, Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. It almost makes him seem less super because he is this ripped, jacked guy, but that was the thing that made Superman, Christopher Reeve's great as Superman. Was he was 6 foot tall and like 200 pounds, but he wasn't like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He looked like a normal guy that had superpowers, and that's what made him so great.
And when he was Clark Kent, he downsized.
Yes,
it was crazy.
Yeah, unlike some current Superman who literally just looks like he threw on a pair of glasses and still walked around like her. I kid. I still love that one, but Superman the movie will always have the most special place in my heart.
Yeah, it was the 70s. It was a fun time. Star Wars had just come out the year before. They had already been in production on this. It was amazing for its time.
Yes. And I am fortunate enough that a few years ago, our friends down at Pack Rat Comic Books, for their Not at Comic-Con had Margot Kidder there.
Oh, yeah. You guys got to go down and see that.
I got to meet Margot Kidder with my friend Kim. I was dressed as Clark Kent, and she was dressed as Lois Lane. And I gotta say, not to toot our own horns, we knocked it out of the park. And this is the guy's honest truth. We came up to Margot, and she looked me right in the eye. She goes, "You remind me so much of Chris the first day of production." I'm not joking. I'm secure enough to say this. Wept. I'm like, oh my god. She was so lovely. Her portrayal of Lois Lane was great. She was spunky and, no nonsense,
Oh,
she
yeah.
was, especially for the time, people. Keep in mind, this is the 70s, the women were still kind of relegated
It was
to
just starting big time.
Yes.
So
But to have, there were no Ripley's yet. There were no real.
that was the next year.
Yes, there were no real strong. But she really emphasized, being a strong woman. Technically, she was still saved by Superman, but that was only because she put herself. She
Yeah.
was unafraid to put herself into danger.
And she had that smoking habit. No.
Yes, she did. Oh my God. Yes, she did. That was back when you could still show smoking in a movie. But I really love Superman the movie. That movie was the reason why children across the United States tied towels around the back of their neck, for capes, and were flying around, and it showed his portrayal of Superman, Chris Reeve's portrayal of Superman, to me is the epitome. He was a good guy. It wasn't his powers. It wasn't the ability to stop a locomotive with his bare hands or, catch a helicopter. He was the good guy. He was the Boy Scout. And it's something that's carried on for me and I believe a lot of people throughout the years. And like I said, even with all the new movies that are coming out and all the great advancements in CGI and all that stuff, when you go back and you watch Superman, there's a few scenes where it's like that's a pretty decent model,
Yeah.
but it still holds up. It's still a wonderful movie. It's still one that I show my nephews and my and my great nephews, and even they still enjoy it. It really is timeless. And it's hard to believe 40 years, right?
Yeah. I still remember. I even picked up the Treasury edition at the time of the movie adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a fun times.
Yeah. So we would love to hear from you. Any memories that you have, or any fun anecdote stories involving Superman the movie. We would love to hear how Superman the movie affected you. And Richard, where can they do that?
Just on our YouTube channel, right here where this video is located. You can comment there, or go to our Facebook page, Underground Video Network, and there's the places to interact with us there.
So thanks everybody, and keep on flying.